What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran and I like to help people using a spiritual perspective. So today, guys, I'm launching a new series. We will see how disciplined I am in this new series, but the idea is I'm going to now start this kind of Your Guide series with the objective of explaining in a very concise, hopefully short amount of time, spiritual topics or spiritual ideas that you may not know about, that you may do know about, but you want more information on. And that can be applicable to the normal everyday person, rather than just somebody who would maybe consider themselves spiritually awakened. Okay? Sorry, I got crumbs everywhere. Probably not from me, or most definitely from me. Before I continue with this video, I wanted to announce something. I never announce anything, so this is me announcing. So I guess this is a pivotal moment in my personal history. So I started a new YouTube channel, an additional one, and it's about me. It's podcasting. Okay, it's just me doing podcasts and stuff like that. Same kind of idea, same kind of topics. Spiritual topics, esoteric ideas, and also how they apply to society. How these ideas and these things that are, in my opinion, very important that need to be discussed. It's just a place that that those ideas can be that they can be expressed fully. Okay, so usually I keep them pretty short, but around 20-25 minutes. So just imagine me, same nasally voice, but without the pasty white skin and the face of a teenage boy. Okay, guys, so let me just go right into the video. But again, right before that, if you're interested, I'll have the link below. I've already done one podcast episode, I guess, and that is in the description box down below, along with other things, other self-promotional ideas, and all kinds of stuff that you may or may not give a shit about. Okay, but hopefully you guys do, because I think that it may be helpful, or at least semi-interesting. Okay, but anyway, moving on from that stuff, getting right into this video. So today's episode, this first episode of Your Guide series, is going to be about twin flames. I'm going to break down what the concept of a twin flame is, what it means, what it looks like generally speaking, and the sort of the meaning behind that. And I'm going to try and do that over the next 10 minutes or so and not take up too much of your time. Okay, so twin flames. What is this concept that we hear often on YouTube in spiritual communities, that we see all the time, that every twin flame tarot reader seems to mention, and so many people have subscribed to these channels, and inevitably not everybody can have one, or not everybody will meet one, let's say, in this lifetime, and it can be very, very confusing, and these ideas are oftentimes rejected completely by different sorts of spiritual people, masters, ascended masters, or even beyond that, into different sort of spiritual communities who focus more on the feeling of existence rather than spiritual labels, which of course there's definitely some truth to that. But we're here to talk about twin flames, and we're here to talk about what that means rather than the other stuff. So taking a moment to center and sort of believe, there's a crumb there the whole time, and to sort of just believe and accept with a suspension of disbelief that this is, of course, a real progress that people do go through. Someone that myself has gone through, is something that can only be felt. Okay, so what's really important to remember about twin flames is that it's a feeling experience. It's not something that can be explained with logic, which of course anybody in a spiritual community should probably understand by now, that the awakening process, the spiritual process of enlightenment, whatever that means to you, is not one of logic or rationality. It's one of intuition, of feeling, of soul knowing, of a deep inner wisdom. Okay, so what twin flames are, what the idea is about, is that two souls have been split at some point in the astral plane, more than likely a long time ago. Whether or not it's the beginning of time, again, it's not a logical thing, it's a feeling thing. It's a split between two polarities, two energies, right? Two energy beings, and they split down the middle, with, of course, the experience of wanting to come back together, of wanting to be whole, right? Which is that theme that often accompanies all of life, this idea of everything being intertwined at the beginning and the end. So twin flames, this idea the souls split and they incarnate into different physical beings, into different dimensions, okay? So for instance, human experience would be over many, many lifetimes of where the twin flames have met and experienced different experiences in each lifetime. Maybe sometimes the roles were reversed, the gender roles. Maybe sometimes the orientations were different. Maybe sometimes it was very brief and non-lasting. And other times maybe it was tried to be very long-lasting, but maybe there was some grief involved, some deception, or maybe there was an early death or something of the sort. But this idea is that each twin, each soul comes back in different incarnations to learn things, right? So it may be not every lifetime did the two meet. Certainly, there's experiences to be had without the twin flame, things to be learned. Oftentimes, one is more advanced than the other, has experienced a little bit more lifetimes, and sort of waits for the other one to catch up. And it's almost like this game of tag, right? Where one is kind of going and one waits and another, and so on and so on and so on, until both souls are ready to come into union on a physical plane to experience an enlightenment of some sort, right? Again, what enlightenment means to you may be different from what it means to me, but let's say, from my perspective, an enlightenment is the awareness of what is truly inside of you and who you really are, okay? So twin flames is this idea that you have two different kinds of souls coming in two different kinds of bodies, same soul, but split down the middle in two different bodies, coming together for some sort of purpose. Now, this is where it deviates, even among twin flame communities, is that many people think, well, twin flames aren't meant to be together. Certainly, twin flames have lots of difficulties, and other people, of course, think that they're always meant to be together, and they always end in some kind of permanent union as long as this is the lifetime where both of them are awakened, right? So rather than diving deep into the different sorts of definitions and labels and the kinds of things that twin flames experience, because that's a very large kind of video to go into, generally speaking, twin flames are here to come into union with a specific mission in mind, rather than a romantic one. And that's important to note. The romance is something that is brought about by the relationship, but it is very difficult because you have people of differing opinions, different personalities that are very almost black and white in comparison, with very vast different experiences, and yet with the same core belief, the same kind of core wounds even, as well as very similar patterns to who they believe that they are and what has almost made them who they are. So they're very similar and yet different, and that's that idea of, in the soul space, they are, of course, the same kind of energy, the same kind of being, but in the human space, with the ego, the personality that's developed in this particular lifetime that they're in, they'd be vastly different, okay? Almost as much as night and day would be. So twin flames have a specific mission, and that's why they come together in union in lifetimes like this one, if they are awakened, because they would want to experience something together, right? Whether or not that's a relationship for a long-lasting time or a short amount of time is up to the specific incarnation of those two twin flames, the soul contract that was set out by their own souls. But what really is going on here is that they're here to enlighten others. They come together, it exposes the fears, it really breaks down the ego, brings out the love inside of both people, and allows them to experience more fully a spiritual awakening, an enlightenment process, so that they can bring that love and light and truth, that wisdom and experience, and shine it into the world, shine it onto the darkness that is very prevalent within today's society, right? So you have more than a few twin flames on Earth really awakening, getting towards this process of trying to uncover themselves, and then of course shed light onto the darkness through whatever their chosen field or passion seems to exist within them, right? So it is that the couple does come together with this very specific role, mission, and a soul purpose in mind that is much deeper and more profound and meaningful than just a physical relationship that involves ice cream dates, sex, and whatever else people do. I assume just those two things, but it does involve more than that, right? So that is, kind of the reason why twin flames are here, kind of what it looks like in a sense, what the relationship generally will look like in the 3D is a sense of separation and sort of running and chasing. Again, it can be different for many, many people. It's always an energy thing. You can be in a relationship with them and be in union and never have that runner-chaser dynamic as in a full separation, but you might experience that energy of maybe one partner not feeling totally committed at the moment and then vice versa, and that kind of push-pull energy can exist within that relationship, right? As it can exist in many different relationships, and all relationships really, platonic or otherwise. People go through different experiences at different moments of their life. The problem that people have with twin flames, I think from a different perspective, is that yes, it sounds silly, as all of it does, but also that there is no way to prove it, of course, and that 3, and this is the most important one that I think anybody should really focus on, is that a spiritual label can allow people to really get stuck in what they believe to be true without truly seeing the significance or the larger objective picture of what's really going on. And essentially what I mean by that is people could use a label like soulmate or twin flame to be stuck in a narcissistic or toxic kind of relationship, right? Unfortunately, and I did that myself with what would be commonly known as a karmic twin or a false twin, right? And those are kinds of labels that are also used to denote or differentiate someone who mimics or looks like a true twin flame, but was really just somebody who was there to teach you a lesson, right? So even within the spiritual community and even within the twin flame community in specific, there's many different ideas and opinions, and all of them are equally valid and of course as equally irrelevant as the next, because really it's a feeling thing, and every single twin flame journey is much different than the other one, though they do all generally follow this pattern of meeting together, going through this sort of energetic back and forth, which sometimes can lead to physical separation, but always coming with this important lesson of self-love and acceptance and forgiveness that is important for this sort of new age human to be and to help grow society. And that is, again, the primary purpose of a twin flame relationship, and why they would come here to incarnate at the same time, to be together, come into union, is to help humanity advance, because that's something that's generally felt within both of them. And it's important that both twins are spiritually awakened in some degree to some definition of that, and have this idea or knowledge or wisdom inside of them that they're here to do something very specific, or at least meaningful to them, okay? And by definition, to society as a whole, okay? So I think that covers, in a general way, short video of just what a twin flame looks like, kind of what they are, what's important about why they're even here to begin with. And I know that there's so many other different topics about this, the mirroring, all the separation, what that looks like, but those are topics for another day. I hope that this video would find people who are just looking to understand this connection, because maybe they're going through it for the first time, and other people who may be wondering about these types of topics, even if they aren't necessarily considered to be a twin flame in their own mind, right? But I do hope that this video does help a few people at least. And if anybody has any questions, always feel free to email me, put some comments down in the comment section, and do whatever it is that people do. I don't know. Sometimes people like my videos, sometimes they dislike it, sometimes they write mean comments. You do whatever you feel you really want to do. I'm going to do what I feel what I want to do, and I'm going to go eat some chocolate in the fridge because that shit is going to be good. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a really great day. Okay, bye.